And now we go on to a final thing, which is iron fists and kung fu kicks. And this is something that, when you're scrolling through Netflix and you go into different things, and Netflix does this thing that if you dare hover on something for more than a second, that's it, you're going to get a trailer. And this came up and I started playing the trailer, and straight away I was like, oh, I am watching that. And what this is all about, this film it's essentially about the Hong Kong film industry. And it tells you the history of the Hong Kong film industry. I think it's an Australian production. And it goes all the way back to, and this is something that I didn't know about, but Sean, you probably are going to jump when I say the words, the Shaw Brothers.
Oh, Shaw Brothers, yeah. Two Golden Harvest and Shaw Brothers were the big.
This goes before Golden Harvest, and it talks about Shaw Brothers and how Shaw Brothers started making all these films and what it meant to them to make these films and how they had a monopoly. You know how we keep complaining about how Disney owned everything, and literally and even during the pandemic, where I was joking saying that Disney is essentially going to buy up all the cinemas so that they can own all the distribution networks and all that kind of stuff, and they find out that Shaw Brothers did that in Hong Kong. They owned the studios, they owned the cinemas, they owned everything. They decided what it is people would want, and there's all these different things, like the fact that they had female action heroines way before it was a thing, way before the other week we had the 355 we're talking about, and it was like, oh wow, women kicking ass, but Shaw Brothers had that going on in the 40s. And it's kind of like, and then they go through the whole thing through when Bruce Lee came in, and then how Hong Kong cinema, mainly martial art movies, ended up taking over the world, and Bruce Lee came up, and it goes through to Jackie Chan up to present day. And for anybody who, like me, grew up watching martial arts movies and absolutely adoring them. I mean, when we were growing up, I remember that there were two people we wanted to be. It was either James Bond or Bruce Lee. and it was... And absolutely adoring these films. I would say go watch it. Yes, Kemi agrees. Yeah, I would say watch Iron Fist and Kung Fu Kicks, because
I will watch that.
Yeah, and the thing with it is that it comes up with so many different films like that I'd never heard of, that I was like, I need to go find that film. Like Seven Grandmasters, and then it goes into what happened when these films got to America, how these films became culturally relevant worldwide, and why it meant so much. Because there's always this thing where obviously I'm Nigerian, and we grew up in Nigeria, and we had a real thing for these films. We had an affinity for them, and it goes on and talks about how, let me just turn you away from the mic. It goes on and it talks about how, when these films got to America, what it meant to the Black American population, because they were like, okay, yeah, they're fighting against the man. We want to fight against the man too, and all these different cross-pollinations that happened of how things from Hong Kong cinema went into blaxploitation cinema, they went back from blaxploitation cinema into Hong Kong cinema, and then it talks about its effect on things like parkour and on the whole sort of like breakdancing scene, how the and it has all. What it does very effectively is that it shows you that the influence of Hong Kong cinema has gone across the board. It has. There's one character who said, or there's one person in it who says, we've taken what they've done and we've remixed it and we fed it back to them. And it's like this conversation where we remix it and we give it back, and they go, okay, we see that, we take that, we remix it and we put it back and all that. So I loved this. I thought it was really, really good. I think towards the end, there's a couple of connections that they try and make that doesn't quite work. And it feels almost as if that they're running out of time for their runtime, so they can't really delve into it. I think it might have been better as maybe like a three-part documentary series. Hang on, what is going on with you? There, good. It might have been better as a 3-part documentary series. But all in all, I thought it was brilliant. It's given me a much bigger watch list of things to watch from Hong Kong cinema. I'd give it a 4 out of 5. So yeah, I would say Iron Fist and Kung Fu Kicks.
And that's on Netflix, that one.
That is on Netflix.
Right.
That is on Netflix. And I would imagine that it would be even more, because it makes a big deal of the fact that it's an Australian production. So at the beginning of so I'd imagine with you at the moment being so much closer to Australia, you should probably be able to get it on there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's
Yeah, sorry, Sean, you were saying.
Yeah, no, I was just saying.